And welcome to Upon Further Review. I'm Josh Aubrey. Plenty to get to in this week's Thanksgiving episode of our show. We've got high school football action to bring you from last week. From Friday night, the Statesboro Blue Devils fell on the road at Harris County. The Portal Panthers dropped a tough 14-12 decision to Telfair County, and the Bulloch Academy Gators advancing to the GIAA state semifinals with a 35-0 victory against George Walton. They will be back at home at Gator Alley for the Final Four. Coming up for the first time, this is the first time they've advanced since back in 2008 under Clint Morgan. They will be hosting Brookstone and former Georgia Southern coach Rance Gillespie. That coming up Friday night at Gator Alley at 7:30. We'll hear from Coach Phillips and a few of the players coming up in just a moment. We'll take a look at the Portal game highlights as well. As for the Georgia Southern Eagles, their first home loss of the season coming at a bad time. They senior night at Paulson Stadium did not go as planned as they fell to Old Dominion by a score of 20-17. To Old Dominion kicking the game-winning field goal as time expired in that game right after the Eagles had gone down at the field to tie the game at 17-all. We'll hear from head coach Clay Helton and a few of his players coming up. All that and more on Upon Further Review. Reminder before we go to break, hopefully you'll never be in an accident, but if so, please give our friends at the Sullivan Law Firm a call, 912-489-8888, or online at thesullivanlawfirm.com. Cook's Pharmacy, located on Highway 80 East, is family owned and operated by Lynn and Janie McCook, as well as their son, Josh McCook. Serving the Bulloch County area since 2005, McCook's Pharmacy offers fast and friendly service where the customers come first. Vaccinations are available, including shingles, flu, pneumonia, and Tdap. Drive-through service is available with 2 drive-through windows for your convenience. McCook's Pharmacy offers free local deliveries, and new customers are always welcome. Continuing the tradition of our family caring for your family, McCook's Pharmacy, Highway 80 East. Eagles' spirit and style are a priority around here, and that's why the University Store, the official outfitter of Georgia Southern, offers everything you need to be game day ready. The University Store carries the largest inventory of licensed Georgia Southern apparel, accessories, and spirited merchandise. Show your spirit with tents, flags, and chairs. Show your style with polos, hats, dresses, and jerseys. Visit us in-store at our stadium shops or online at gsustore.com. Show your spirit from tailgate to touchdown with the University Store today. Well, the Georgia Southern Eagles licking their wounds from yet another loss. They've lost their third straight. This time it came at home. The first game they've lost at Paulson Stadium, 20-17 to Old Dominion. The Eagles were able to come down and trailing 17-10, scored with just over a minute left in the game, but unfortunately Old Dominion was able to march downfield and kick a field goal as time expired in that one. We had a chance to talk with head coach Clay Helton and a couple of the players as they get set for Hate Week against App State. Should be a good way to bounce back because you know they'll be focused for this one. We had a chance to talk with them about last week and about their feelings on Saturday night's game at App State.
Had a feeling it could be a close ball game, and usually the team that plays cleaner wins the game. And you look at ODU, and they played a really clean game with no turnovers. And so, good learning lesson for our team, and hopefully one we'll take into Boone, North Carolina. Yeah, obviously exciting week this week. Anytime you're going into a rivalry week, especially against App State, it's exciting for your fan base, exciting for your alumni group, exciting for the students, and most importantly, it's exciting for your team. I got the opportunity to witness this rivalry firsthand last year and see the passion that's involved. I've been a part of some special games, whether it was at Auburn, Alabama, whether it was USC, Notre Dame, and there's just the same amount of passion when you talk about Georgia Southern and App State. Obviously, late November, different situation than we were in last year where both teams were fighting for postseason play. Both teams are now bowl eligible and trying to look for even better postseason opportunities. So should make for a lot of fun. First time up in Boone, North Carolina for myself, a place I've always wanted to have a chance to go up and compete at, and looking forward to that opportunity with our football team this week. Let's App State. It's the greater than hate game, and you could see it yesterday just walking into the building. Obviously disappointment with the ODU game, but we all know how special this is, to our community, to our university, and to our football team. We're just thankful for the opportunity to have another opportunity to compete. You never want that last one to be a loss, so you compete like heck, to be able to get to the next one, and it just happens to be a rivalry game. It's my first time up in Boone, North Carolina. I can't wait. I've heard about the excitement and the passion just like we have here at Paulson, and then you talk about a rivalry game. It's one of those special games at a special place, and so I look forward to having that opportunity. Yeah, I think you got two offenses that can be extremely high-powered, and it's going to be a unique challenge to see how the two defenses match up against each other. You look at one of the top passing offense in our conference. Davis Brin leads this league in passing right now. How does the defense and the secondary match up against that? And then I think it's going to be really a chess match against their offense and our defense. There's such balance there, and I think anytime that happens, you got to guess right some. And it's a chess match. Brandon's really good at tendencies and being able to find tendencies, and I know he'll do a tremendous job of putting our kids in the right place and the best opportunity based on down and distance.
I feel like we all know what this game means to our community and everybody around us and for Georgia Southern history. And we gonna go in that game the same mindset, focus on us, and come out with the win. This rivalry for me means everything. Actually, this is my first time actually playing against App, so this game would be probably a lot of emotions for me, but I'm still be locked in the moment and key to the plays that need to be made. If you ask me, they should come out extra motivated from losing to us last year, especially in overtime. So we know we both know each other very well, both teams, and both coaching staffs and players. So we just got to execute our plays when the plays are called.
I feel like we all disappointed about yesterday, but I feel like we understand what this week means to our community. We understand what a win against App State does as far as getting a better bowl game, and we understand like we're a family and we want to win for the seniors, just like we wanted to win last week. We're blessed to have another opportunity to play the game of football, and I feel like everybody is understanding that, and we want to leave the seniors off the right way, and that's what 2 wins, a bowl game win, and I feel like that would be the best we can do because that's what we're blessed with. We understand, like, we're confident in our defense, week in, week out, no matter who it is. And like talking about the motivation, it's App week, so that's all the motivation we need. It don't matter what the record is, it don't matter what streak it is. Anytime we get to play Appalachian State, we understand it's business and it's bigger than just the game. You know what I mean? It's for the community, it's for history, tradition, everything that's involved. And we understand that, so that's the only motivation we need. As far as defensively, we're confident in any team we play. The game of football, you learn and you find so many relationships and you network a lot of people. Coach Cunningham, was a big part of my starting of my career. He helped me out tremendously. So it's going to be fun. It's fun to play against those guys like Mike Greenhall and Coach Cabal, Coach Salone, the guys who actually recruited me in. So I'm excited. It'll be much funner to beat them, though.
And stay with us. High school previews and highlights coming up next. There's a time for playing it safe and a time for whiskey business. Located on the corner of Highway 80 and East Main Street, Whiskey Business has one of the largest selections of bourbons as well as an allocated selection of bourbons and top shelf liquors. Featuring the coldest walk-in beer cave around, a great selection of IPA and craft beers as well as domestics. They also sell ice, mixers, champagne, wine with all your favorite brands. Whiskey Business also has a fully stocked cigar room with humidors, cigar cutters, torches, and other accessories featuring brands like Man O' War, Buffalo Trace, Macanudo, and Rocky Patel. Open Monday through Wednesday, 9 to 9 p.m., Thursday through Saturday, 9 till 10 p.m. Stop by and see them today.
Davis, you're in. You tired of being on the sidelines? Let's get you in the game. GATA, get after those assets.
Owning a small business is kind of a big deal. State Farm agents can help you find the right insurance coverage at the right price.
Call State Farm agent Matthew Tyson in Statesboro today.
Well, the Portal Panthers' remarkable season comes to a close. They advanced to the quarterfinals for the first time since 2005. They also host their first ever second round of the state playoff game. Unfortunately, it wouldn't be enough. They fall to Telfair County 14-12, had a couple of chances there in the second half, got inside the 30 twice, but were unable to come up with points. A couple of turnovers did them in, and a turnover on downs. Let's send you back for some of the highlights of that game. The Portal Panthers hosting the second round of the state playoffs for the first time as they're taking on 9-2 Telfair County. The Trojans marching downfield on their opening drive. Braden Cook gets this one ahead for a first down into Panther territory, and then Antonio Scott finds Kenneth King. He takes a big hit at the goal line, but falls in. Telfair grabs a 7-0 lead. Portal trying to come back. Elijah Coleman looking downfield. He finds Amir Jackson into Telfair territory. And then the screen pass from Coleman to Jackson. He spins off a couple tackles, breaks a couple more, falls into the end zone for the touchdown. The 2-point conversion failed, and it was 7-6. On Telfair's next possession, Jackson makes a big play on defense as he strips the ball loose from Cook, and it's recovered by Cooper Motes. Cheers would lead to silence on their next offensive play as Jackson takes a hard hit, ends up limping off the field. He'd come back a little bit later and attempt to make the catch here, but this one a little underthrown, and Telfair able to come up with the interception. But the Portal defense able to hold from there. Chase Smith helping out on the hit along with Jackson. Later in the second, Jackson looking a little bit like Coleman. He takes this pass to the near side, cuts it all the way back. The far side shaking a few tackles and then picking up 18 yards and a first down. Coleman, then with less than 30 seconds to go in the half, he'll roll out and find Charles McNeil. Makes a nice catch. This one down to the 1-yard line. And then from there, Coleman able to sneak it in for the score. Once again, the 2-point conversion failed, and those two would prove costly. Portal goes into the half up 12-7. Second half, Telfair scores here on a 7-yard touchdown by Cook to make it 14-12. Portal driving into Telfair territory here in the third. Inside the 20, but Harold Washington hit hard. He coughs the ball up. Telfair takes over. The Portal defense controlling things from there. Another big hit for a loss. We move to the fourth. 4th and 6. Telfair goes for it, and a nice play in the end zone by Elijah Coleman to break this one up. Portal takes over. From their own 30, they go for it, and they're stuffed up the middle. So Telfair takes over, and they'd be faced with a 4th and 7 with under 4 minutes to play in the game. They complete the pass, but this one far shy of a first down. So Portal gets the ball back. Coleman throws this one over on the right side for a first down. Then Coleman keeps it himself. He fights his way ahead to the 28-yard line. And this would end up being the pivotal play of the game. Coleman hits as he's thrown. It's picked off by Telfair. Portal able to keep all 3 timeouts, giving themselves a chance, but the Trojans convert on first down here, and they'd go on to win this one by a final count of 14-12. And stay with us. Coming up next, we'll hear from Aaron Phillips and take a look at some highlights from Bulloch Academy's game from last week against George Walton. The Southeast Sports segment is brought to you in part thanks to Bulloch County Farm Bureau, reminding you that September is Life Insurance Awareness Month. The Bulloch County Farm Bureau on Northside Drive is a multi-line insurance agent writing farm, auto, homeowners, life, health insurance, and more. Nick Sherrod and the other 5 local agents are on standby for your convenience for in-depth insurance review. And while you're there, check out the products from local farmers. Located at 940 Northside Drive, stop by and see them today. Fall is here, and we've got you covered at RJ Pope's. Cheer on your favorite team with performance polos and jackets from Peter Millar and Gentile, as well as Southern Tide and AFCO. For ladies, they have the latest trends and fashions, including men's and women's jackets from Patagonia and Barber. RJ Pope's has a wide variety of on-cloud shoes for men and women, and a great selection of hats and caps. Shop one of their 3 locations, RJ Pope's downtown, Buckhead Plaza, and Vidalia. Well, the Bulloch Academy Gators with a big victory this past week against George Walton. Let's send you out for some of the highlights. To Gator Alley we go. Bulloch Academy in the state quarterfinals hosting George Walton, picking things up in the first quarter. Ben Aaron with a nice run all the way down inside the 30-yard line. He then capped the drive going in for the touchdown. The extra point failed. It was 6-0 Bulloch Academy. Gator defense playing a great game here, stopping George Walton. And then back on offense, and Reed Clifton excited to be back in the Gator lineup. He picks up 20 yards on this one. And then the give to Isaiah Smart, also back to 100% healthy. He gets down for another first down, and then the give to Smart. He goes all the way in for the score. BA up 14-0. The defense continuing to hold here on 4th and 6. They'd shut him down. We move ahead to the second quarter. Jet sweep goes on the right side. And Isaiah Smart all the way down inside the 10. Cleaning things up, Danye Garvin goes in for the touchdown. Back to the Gator defense we go. And here they come up with one of 3 turnovers in the game. The interception down to the 33. And then on offense, another big run. This one by Isaiah Smart. That wouldn't lead to any points, but the defense does the job. Gators go to the half, up 21-0. Second half, Bulloch Academy picking off where they left off. 3-2-1. Second half, Bulloch Academy picking up where they left off. A touchdown by Danye Garvin makes it 28-0. George Walton getting close, threatening to score, but once again, anytime they came close, the Gator defense had their number, keeping the shutout intact. Jet sweep on the right side this time, and another big long run by Smart. That takes us to the fourth quarter, and this time it's Smart from the 35, busts through, makes a couple players miss, and then he goes in for the touchdown. 35-0, tack on a personal foul on top of that, and then one more interception as the Gators move on to the Final Four they'll host next week as they win 35-0.
Davis, you're in. You tired of being on the sidelines? let's get you in the game. GATA, get after those assets.
So with the victory over George Walton, the Gators have advanced to the semifinals for the first time in 15 years. They will be hosting former Georgia Southern coach Rance Gillespie and Brookstone as they come in with a record of 7-4. A little different team than the Gators have been used to seeing, as they'll be throwing the ball a lot more. The Gators have seen more run-oriented offenses, but of course the Gators bring the triple option to the table, and the Brookstone team has not seen a lot of that. We had a chance to talk with Aaron Phillips and a couple of the players about the matchup coming up on Friday night.
Being able to play for, 24, 25 guys on a Friday night, even though I know we're a 4A private school, but we're still a relatively small school, being able to have that many guys we trust on Friday night is huge. And I love our offensive linemen. Those jokers, they get after it. And defensively, same thing, but, those guys that can run make the crowd stand up and cheer, So having those threats back there that can home run hit at any time is huge for us. Brookstone is coached by, former Georgia Southern coach Rance Gillespie, so they're a good football team. They're very well coached offensively. They're primarily a zone one-back team, and they have a really good running back, quarterback, is pretty good, throws it around the ballpark, really big up front. They're going to probably average around 240 to 250 up front like we do. So it'll be a good matchup for us, I told our guys that, every week that you play, they're going to get better and better and better. So this will be the best 4A team we've played all year long. They're going to match up with us, pretty evenly with size. So we got to see, if we can still win the battle, with the guys who have their hand in the dirt. Other than that, defensively, I think anytime you play a team like ours and you have 3 days to prepare, and then you have to travel 5 hours on a trip, and then you have to, you never see us. You had a game last week, that's an advantage to us. Not being able to do this every day and replicate it in practice, you don't understand how fast it is. You don't understand how to play responsibility football, and to teach a high school kid that, in just 3 days' time, basically, over a break, it makes it really hard.
It felt great. That extra week, helped me out, heal back to, pretty much 100%. I was able to make cuts better, faster. And yes, sir, it just helped me play better. We're feeling great. This is the first time I think anybody on this team has made it this far, I'm pretty sure. I know this is the first time I made it this far. And we're just feeling excited. We think we have a really good chance to win this game and making it all the way to state and getting that ring.
After last week, I feel like all of our confidences are up. Going out there and putting a whooping on them, it felt kind of good. Of course, you're going to have some nerves, but also, we feel like we got it. We're in here, we're confident, we're ready to go, we're ready to play whoever. It's kind of something new, kind of something we haven't been used to or something, but we got a great defensive coach, and I feel like we're going to adjust and we're going to play fine.
I know the team's excited. I know, speaking for myself, that I've never been more fired up to get after it. I've never been to the Final Four, and I'm really looking forward to it. I know that they're going to pass a little bit more than we're used to, but I think that we can adjust to that and get our defense right, and we can put a stop to them.
And now to wrap it up for this week's show, we thank you for joining us. Have a happy Thanksgiving, and we'll see you next week.